Hey everybody, Rob Hoke here, Bass Talker Fishing. Today I want to talk about my top 5 bed fishing baits for smallmouth. It's probably a little late in the game for you guys down south, but if you live up north, we're going to be getting into bed fishing time pretty soon. And or some of us, I mean, some lakes are you could already be bed fishing, but just want to go over my top 5. I'm not really going to get real specific with colors because a lot of your colors is going to depend on your water clarity. So we'll get after it. Probably my number one is little crawl. These are Zoom Ultra Vibe speed crawls. And normally I would like to throw either a really dark color or a white. I like a white when I'm bed fishing just because they're not really attacking the bait because it looks like food. They're not really biting the bait because they're hungry or trying to eat the bait. They're biting it to get it out of their bed. So I really don't think color matters that much when you're bed fishing because they're more attacking it out of anger than they are out of a need to feed. So it really doesn't matter what it looks like. But I like these small little ultra wide crawls, and normally I'm gonna have a white one on just because I can see when that fish gets that bait. Because a lot of times you don't have a lot of time, and a lot of people, you miss a lot of fish when you're bed fishing because they're gonna get that bait in and spit it back out relatively quick. That's why I like the white, because as soon as I see that bait disappear, I can lean into that fish. So that's probably my number one bait, and you can throw it on a little shaky head. That's the way I throw it, and I haven't had any issues with it. My number two would be a drop shot. I use the Rains bubbling shakers. Just a regular drop shot rig. I have a really small leader, or a really small amount of line from the hook to the weight, maybe 5-6 inches. I want that bait right in front of that fish's face, and a lot of that's a good bait because you can pitch it in there, find that spot on the bed that pisses the fish off the most, and just keep it there. And you just keep it there. You shake it. It's right in front of the fish's face. And sooner or later, that fish is going to get mad enough to take that bait in. And again, you just lift up and you got them. Third for me would be a little jig. I like to throw these little, this is like a 3/8 ounce football head. I don't like real big jigs for smallmouth, but a little 3/8, quarter ounce, 1/8 ounce little jig, little football. I like the football head jigs just because a lot of times you're going to be on hard bottom and it'll come through that hard bottom pretty well. And just put a little crawl on there. I might paint a little bit of orange on the tips, the legs of the crawl, and that seems to work pretty well. Number 4 would be the good old Strike King coffee tube. Actually, I learned a trick from JF Fishing, who I've been fishing with quite a bit lately, so go check him out on Instagram and YouTube. But I can only find the 3.5 inch coffee tubes, and I would prefer 2.5 inch for bed fishing smallies, but he gave me a good tip. He actually cuts the tentacles in half when he's fishing the 3.5 on beds for smallmouth. He'll cut the tentacles in half, and that just prevents them from kind of nipping at the back of the tentacles without getting the hook. It'll let them get that hook every time they suck that bait in, and you still have a little bit of action. And like I said, they're not biting it to feed; they're biting it because they're pissed that it's there, and that the little tentacles are just preventing them from missing the bait a little bit. But it's a cool trick. Definitely give it a shot. I've been giving it a shot. I just haven't really been fishing the tube a lot this year. I haven't found many on beds yet this year, so hopefully next tournament I'll be able to get back to bed fishing. But that's number 4. Number 5 is just a shaky head. Any kind of shaky head. You can get a stand-up shaky head. I prefer the ball style for, and number 5 is just a shaky head. And you can, any shaky head that works for you. It could be a stand-up, it could be a ball head. I like the ball head personally. and I kind of mix up what I throw it on. Like I said, I throw that Ultra Vibe Crawl on there, but you can throw a little mini Fluke Junior on there, and it'll make that fish look like it's going down feeding off the bottom, trying to feed off those eggs. You could throw just a regular finesse worm on there. Like I throw a lot of 4-inch zoom finesse worms. You could throw a 4-inch, 3-inch, 5-inch bubbling shaker on there, because that bubbling shaker has a lot of good tail action. So I mean, they're just good baits. They're good because they stay. Like I said, once you find that spot on the bed that really aggravates that fish, you can keep that shaky head there and just kind of hop it in place, and it seems to get them pretty mad, pretty worked up, and that's how you get them in the boat. But so a recap: top 5 bad fishing baits for smallmouth. The Zoom Ultra Vibe Crawl. I prefer white. A drop shot. I mean, any color you could see. I have white. You can fish a real dark green pumpkin. Whatever color drop shot you can see pretty well when you're fishing that bed. Number 3, the football. I think it was the football head jig. I don't know. It's not in any specific order, so it doesn't really matter. But a little football head, either 3/8 or 1/4 ounce with. I actually have that Zoom Ultra Vibe Crawl on there. I just cut it in half, so it's a lot smaller profile. Coffee tubes, and I trim the tentacles in half thanks to JF Fishing. I would prefer like 2.5. So like if you fish like Berkeley stuff, you can get the Berkeley power bait tubes that are 2.5 inches. But the 3.5 will work. Just cut a little bit off, and then 5 was just the shaky head. You can shaky head a worm. You can shaky head the bubbling shaker. The Fluke Junior is pretty cool because if you can get a little minnow style bait that looks real natural, you're pretty much imitating what the fish are going to be doing. Those fish are going to be in there trying to pick those eggs off, and they're going to be nose down, and that's just a very realistic presentation. So definitely check them out. Give them a shot. If you haven't given them a shot, try them out. It might open your eyes a little bit, maybe become a lot better bed fisherman for smallmouth. But that's it, guys. Take care. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, tell your friends, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks.